Welcome to the Emily Rassam Show, the podcast that proves parenting, business, and home life can all be juggled, just not always gracefully. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share because laughter and maybe chaos is better when it's spread around. Hi, and welcome to the Emily Rassam Show. My name is Emily, and I am your host. And today I am joined by Carrie Conner of Brew Hope, steeped in purpose, and she is going to give us an introduction about her business and what she does first and tell us a little bit about herself. So, Carrie, take it away from here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm really excited to be here. So I was a teacher for probably like 9 years or so. And in May, I just got this idea to start this coffee trailer. It just kind of happened. So I'm an adoptive mom of 5 kids, all from foster care from the state. My oldest son had always wanted to have a food truck. When he first came to me, it was during COVID time, and he actually turned our closet into a food truck and made us eat all of our meals from there. So that's it's always been in the back of our minds is like, let's do a food truck. And then it just kind of happened. We did research and I used like ChatGPT, helped me a lot, like figure out where to start and how to go about it, and then researching online other people who have had coffee trailers and where to go and how to start, and it's just like happened. So it's pretty neat. And my kids have gotten to see us just start from nothing to opening up our trailer to moving it around to being called for events, and it's been just an awesome journey so far.
I love that. I am a firm believer that experience is the best teacher. And even if they don't want to be entrepreneurs themselves, it's a really great skill set to have for anything you decide to do later on. So can you start then back by telling us what grade levels did you teach at school and give us a little history on that? And then we'll talk more about the segue into starting your own food truck business.
Sure. So I've taught 7th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade, and 1st grade. My most recent class was 1st grade. And I love, 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 love teaching. I wasn't looking for a way out of teaching. I was just really looking for something fun to do, just something different. So I've taught for, I think, going on 9 years, and here in Marion County, 4 years. And my kids have been in school with me. So that's been awesome, that experience too. And this summer when we started, everybody was super excited about our coffee trailer, and it just started to take off. And I was thinking, hey, if we don't chase this, it might fizzle out. So jumped in head first, just dove in with the kids and the family and started doing it. So it was terrifying.
So how are the kids in all of this? Like, are they really excited still? Are they having fun? Is it becoming more like a job to them?
Yes, they are having so much fun. So I have 5 kids. The ages are 4, 5, 8, 10, and 13. My 10 and 13-year-old are homeschooled, and they chose to be homeschooled. They're not homeschooled because of the coffee trailer. They've been working towards that. So when they get their work done, they can come help, and they help me prepare for events, and they help in the food truck, and they're working towards getting their food safety license, which they're excited about. They're actually pushing me to get it going so that they can help cook in the commissary kitchen and all sorts of stuff. So they get a small paycheck, little payments here and there for what they do. So they love that. They love like spending their own money and all of that. They're very much excited, like for both of that, to manage their own money, but also to be part of the food truck. And they help me create menu items, and they help me with ideas. And they even, if they see a poster while they're out and about an event, they'll take a picture and be like, hey, Mom, there's this event coming up. I think you should try to do it. So that's pretty cool watching my older ones like participate that way. And then my youngest, they always want to be in the trailer. They're like my youngest 4-year-old. She's like, Mom, how about this? I come with you to the coffee truck, and I'll make my chocolate milk, and I'll sit on the stool, and I'll be there to help you. Because the rule is, if she comes, she has to sit on this little stool. She can't get off. Just to keep her safe,
Right.
And she's not there when we're open. It's just really, every now and again she'll come up with me. So it's not like she's working in the trailer, but she loves making her chocolate milk in the trailer. So it's just adorable. And then those two, my youngest two, will constantly come up with like ideas for the menu and talk about, well, what if we did a dinosaur drink? And it's adorable to watch them do that. And then my 8-year-old, he is such a hard worker, and he goes to public school, so he doesn't get the opportunity to work as much as the other ones. But when he's there, he is like, what can I do? Can I organize this shelf? Can I do this? And he just is so motivated, which is crazy to see, because everywhere else he's kind of like, man, I don't want to do anything, like he tries to get out of work. But when he's at the food trailer, he's like, what can I do? What can I do? Like, let me help. What can I do to help? So it's just awesome to see them like becoming their own little entrepreneurs and business mind and gaining a work ethic from
Right.
this, like, and that's just been awesome to see.
It really is such a great kind of like school lesson to
Oh
be
yeah.
able to learn those skills, in my opinion. My kids love doing stuff with their dad too. They'll once in a while hop in for business meetings, and I send them with a notebook. So I'm like, you got to write notes. None of them can actually write yet. My oldest is in kindergarten, but he still takes his notebook and takes notes. And so he can tell me about it when he gets back. I love that because I'm a big fan of entrepreneurship and business because it's just fun to me too. I'm like your kids sitting there getting excited, chomping at the bit, doing fun stuff, trying something new. So I love that. And I want to talk to you now a little bit about your company, Brew Hope. Can you tell us about the type of business it is? You were telling me the LLC name, or not the LLC name, the type of business you set up. I
Yes.
can't remember what you said.
So
So
we
tell us about this and how it works with you giving back to the community.
Sure. So when I started Brew Hope, I had debated making it like a not for profit where we, would concentrate on giving back and all of that. But like that, there's so much to go into a not for profit, just so many restrictions and things. And so I didn't want that for our business. So we are a social enterprise. And basically
Right.
what that means is we have a business, it is a for-profit business, but we have a mission. So our mission from the very beginning, we always wanted it to be about foster care because that's just how our family started. And
Right.
my kids have a heart for giving back. And we, as we went through our journey, encountered so many not for profits with foster care that helped us. So we wanted to give back to them too. So when we started this, we became a social enterprise. So our goal is to give 10% of our profits back to organizations that support foster care. So what we've done so
Okay.
far is every month we pick a not for profit and we like try to hype them up on our Facebook page. And we're not perfect because we're still like learning the ins and outs of how this is going to work. And
Right.
then at the end of the month, we put together, look at all of our numbers and say, okay, what, expenses did we have, what this and that, and how much can we give back? And then we give that back to the organization. And I try to post a post like what all we did that month, because sometimes we help other places too. If they've, if we set up at the Marion County Sexual Assault Center one day and we gave 10% back of our sales that day. So like, or we
Right.
give back to different charities just to help out. But so I try to put a post up just so our followers can see what we've done. So we're transparent. I don't want people to think, oh, we're making this claim like we're going to give back to foster care, and we're not really doing it. We're just I
Right.
just want to show that. And so we've been able to give each month something back, and we tend to give a little bit more than what our profits are. We try to stick with like 10%, a good amount. Because like right now, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not pulling a paycheck from it. And we had like unforeseen expenses coming up and different things like that cut away from what we could give back. But like that's our goal. And, we try to also ask our followers, like, who should we give back to? And so they give us some feedback. And that's been pretty neat to see. So that part is just amazing. If I could do it all for just to give all of it back, I would I would
Right.
do that in a heartbeat because, there's so much. And we also, not only do we want to do the give back, but eventually we want to figure out how to do like a kids aging out of care, some kind of job
Mm-hmm.
program or life skills program or something to give kids that are aging out of care something like just either skills or just to come experience having your own business that it's something they can do. It's feasible. And so we're hoping to implement that program as we keep going.
I like that. I love that. And that sounds like something maybe you could get the Chamber of Commerce involved in or something.
Well, that's a
And
good idea.
I would I would love to hear if you have some other visionary goals for your company, because maybe someone listening to this will hear it and get really excited about your mission and your goals and want to help you. We have a lot of retirees here who have business experience and they might get excited about it too. So can you tell us a little bit more what you're envisioning this program looking like and other ideas you and your kids have
Sure.
for the food truck?
So one of the main reasons I started it was to also for my kids to have something that they could take and go with. So like they had a leg up. They do have a lot
Right.
of programs that help them So they have a lot services that they can utilize because of where they've come from and been through the foster care program. But I also
Right.
wanted to hopefully start this now so it was successful when they're older so they could either take it or do a spin-off. Like my daughter already has ideas for spin-offs like a bake stand, things like that. But I'd love also to, I mean, if this became something huge where we could like franchise or we had more than one location, I'd love to focus on kids who have been in foster care or even adults who have aged out of foster care who want an opportunity like this for them to take priority. Like if we could get more coffee trailers all over Florida, and those owners
Right.
could be people who've experienced going through foster care, I would love to see that. I'd love to
Or
help kids start
great
their own business.
mentors.
Yeah, I think that
Sorry.
would be amazing. That would be amazing to see. Or even, and it doesn't have to be a coffee trailer. Like if I could create different programs for
Right.
specifically those kids or young adults where they could see what it takes to start a business and the ins and outs because it's not always beautiful. It's a lot of stress, a lot of work, but it's worth it. And when it's yours, you pour your heart into it. And I feel like young adults could see that and then not have to like always work for somebody else, or if college isn't an option for them. Well, this could be an
Right.
option or something similar. Like my son, he's loves the food truck world, but not the coffee world. So he like would love a different food truck for him one day. And I could see that happening. So we want to stay in this community, the foster care like world, and just
Right.
help in a way that may not, like I don't see a lot of startup business programs for kids who have been through or young adults who have been through different, foster care where they've, are aged out, especially those kids aging out because a lot of kids who are aging out don't have the family, don't have the support for whatever reason, good or bad. I'm not complaining about that.
Right.
It'd be nice to come together as businesses to support them as young entrepreneurs. So, and I've
I
heard
love that.
other food trucks and other businesses have come together. Like I can see this becoming a thing, like with other food trucks. Hey, we want to have a program. We want to teach them how to cook. We want to teach them how to start a business or whatever. Like to get us together as a community to help this group of people become successful and proud of themselves and all of that. It would be an amazing thing.
I love that. It's important to know that you matter and you belong. And it's a great way to do it, to give you that freedom because it keeps your excitement going. And even when you're having bad days or you feel like you don't have the support you might need all the time, it really does get you excited and keep you going and motivated. And I really, really, really loved your concept. And that's why I was so excited to talk with you today. I know, so my husband came to the United States and his community does something similar. They'll set up businesses for people that move here and let them run it. And
It's awesome.
so that they can take care of themselves and establish themselves too. And then it's kind of like a understood requirement that you have to then give back and do the same thing. So it's kind of like what you're doing too. I'm going to segue into, can you tell us how you came up with the name and logo for your company a little bit? Because I know
Sure.
there's usually a really great story about the name and the logo.
So I really feel like a little badly about giving all this credit to chat. So that dream has always been present. And then my kids have always, had the dream too.
Right.
But I really feel like utilizing this AI service just helped hone everything in. Like it helped, just brainstorm with someone who has all the access to all this information. So that's where it all came from. And then, I gave the parameters and together we came up with the name and just so it would be something that spoke of our purpose. So that's how it came to be. But I really feel like if I didn't have that resource, I may not have jumped so quickly. The numbers, you can sit there and say, okay, what does this look like? How can I do this? And then the process of getting on Sunbiz for the name or registering with the DBPR, like I could type that in and the feedback was easy to understand. I didn't have to look at I did go and look at several different websites, but it was
Right.
consolidated to a point where I'm like, okay, I can do this. Some of the research is being done for me in a way that is presenting it in a way I can understand. So that was a lot of it. Like the logo, the coffee press, that's something that we had at my mom's tea room. We had coffee presses. She had coffee beans in these little containers and people could smell the beans and they would pick their
Yes.
flavor. Yeah. And then we put it in a coffee press. So that kind of ties into that memory, with her. The hands going like this, in the logo. And then on my truck, also, there's kids with their hands like this. My kids do this all the time. They're always showing hearts. And so when I went to get the decals on my trailer, I'm like, look, this is the idea, but I really want the kids to be doing this. And they are, and it's adorable. And every time I see it, I think about my kids. So that's how it came out. And then, I wanted it to be bright and show our mission. I wanted our trailer to show our mission because so many coffee trailers are very vintage and coffee feel, but you can see what our purpose is as soon as you look at our trailer. It's all over our trailer. And I love that because people come to the trailer for the coffee and, we post all the time, different coffee items and different drink items, and we get creative with different things. So they want to come try us out. But then they read my trailer. Hey, so you guys give back to foster care? I always wanted to be a foster parent. I'm like, well, let me tell you about it. Or somebody came up and they're like, I grew up in foster care and my life was changed in this one moment. And I just love that you do. The conversation is starting there over coffee.
Yes, yes.
People's experiences are being shared, and I'm able to, hey, do you want to be a foster parent? Here's some resources. Start here. This is where I would have started if I had this information.
Yes.
So that
Next
has
time
been.
we have to get you collecting some email addresses so you can hit them up when the time is right for you.
Yeah, I want people to share their story because I had a young lady come who had been through foster care, and we didn't get a chance to really talk, but I would love to start some kind of campaign on my page. Message me your story. We'd love to feature you if you've been to
Yes.
the trailer or whatever. Just if this speaks to you and you've been through this, we'd love to share your story if you want to, because I would love for our followers to see that too. Not only the kids who've been through that or the young adults who've been that or the foster parents. I had one foster parent come to the trailer and you could tell, like, she was just overwhelmed with everything. And she was able to share that feeling with us. And that was pretty cool. But also the case workers, they have a thankless job, and to be able to give back to them as well has been awesome.
I think that's a great thing to do from a marketing standpoint, because then you're having all these people get involved with excitement with you. And I'm excited now.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And one of the things I had kind of gone into as well was, like, I was saying how we've had different people contact us, people who've been through foster care, but also, like, a foster parent had come up to the trailer one day and you could just tell she was, like, overwhelmed with just life. So we were able to chat and I was able to connect with her too. So that was a really awesome thing to happen. But it's not just about the kids in foster care or the kids aging out of foster care or the people who have aged out and moved on from foster care. It's also about the caseworkers and the foster parents, because a lot of times those jobs are thankless and they have a tough job. I can't, just with my experience with my five, like what they have been through and what I've seen them grow through, I can't imagine a caseworker's load of kids that's way more than five, and the stress that must bring to them. So to be able
Right.
to bring that knowledge present to everyone, too, and then to thank them. We gave back. We had one day we were set up over at KCI and we had a give back program, and people were sending in money the whole time we were there. I think we ended up giving away, people were paying forward about
Right.
20 or more drinks that day. And that
Wow.
was so awesome. And those caseworkers felt really appreciated. I just love to see that we're coming together, we're learning as a community, we're learning more about this world, and we're coming together to help. And I'd love to see that continue to just grow and grow beyond even what I'm thinking it could be.
Right. And so, what are some things that you might need support with in the community or for your business to help it keep growing and get the word out more? Just in case, you never know who's listening. It's a great way to share.
Just, for one, we are at a location now where we can kind of stay set up. And that is huge for us because it allows me to spend time with my family and we don't have to move as much. So we have the spot. I'd love for more people to come, just to come and try us out. And I'd love to grow our menu so that more people had, if they wanted some more desserts or things that were homemade, we could do that. I'd love for people to get the word out about our trailer and to kind of just come see us. That helps me give back. That helps us grow. That helps these other programs that we have envisioned to become a possibility. Because, I changed careers, which, it was completely my choice and I'm excited. So I need that support to keep this growing because
Right.
this is for also supports my family too. And So just come spread the word, share us, follow us, involved in our social media because we'll post about opportunities to give back or what's going on. I'd love resources on how to get these programs started with the kids that are aging out of care or just anything. If somebody has an idea how we could make this more for anybody who's been touched by foster care, we'd love to hear it and we'd love to just try that. And we're open to really just anything. Our hearts are to give back to this community and also to create a business that my children see succeed so they can keep building on that as well, so that they have so much steps ahead than they would have. Their
Right.
opportunity is going to continue to grow.
We have a lot of foster kids in our area, so they do need all the resources that we can provide them. And
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
so, what is an actionable step that I could take as a customer to help you the most? Is it writing a Google review? Is it going
Oh,
on your
yeah.
Facebook page and sharing some things with your friends and maybe trying to do it regularly? This does not cost you anything as a customer, and it does help out Carrie with Brew Hope a lot. So, anything else you can think of that would help you?
Oh, definitely those things that you mentioned, like Google reviews. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So just following us on those platforms, commenting, interacting with our videos. I mean, we make some funny TikTok videos, and we have some more that we're planning on making just to kind of show behind the scenes of the business, but also just to have fun with it. So any interaction on social media would be amazing. Sharing with your friends, that would be just amazing. That would help us a lot. The more we get the word out there, or even if you know of an event that you think would be really profitable for us or great exposure, just to share that with us so we can see. I'm only one woman. So there's some things we
Right.
just can't do everything. Yeah, we have now we're working with a pharmaceutical rep, and so she brings us out to her doctor's offices for coffee and treats, and that has been an
Wonderful.
amazing thing too. So if anybody has something like that that they would want us to partake in, like we can, if it's, for our days off for a couple hours of service, we can completely do those on the days we're closed. And yeah, so just really anything to help us continue to grow. We'd love for this to become more than one trailer one day. We'd love to have a storefront one day. We'd love to partner with other small businesses to make that happen too. That's what's so awesome about this is we have the heart for foster care, but we're also interacting with so many other small businesses or food trucks too. And that community is really just amazing. And they are coming together and they're seeing what we're doing. Hey, we want to give back too. And it's just creating this amazing thing. Yeah, we're just anything to help us continue to grow so that we can give back. I was like joking about getting on TikTok and be like, hey, who wants to pay me my whole salary? And we can give away everything that comes to the trailer, on TikTok and all
Right.
those trends. Somebody got a house, I don't know. But just really, just, any of that would be great.
Well, I know for a fact that you should at least once a day put out a question that you feel is completely impossible and say, hey, how can I do this? Because a lot of them do come true or come to pass when you do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so in business, one of the things that you do is you do impossible things because it's part of the entrepreneurship, and it's, I think, one of the best skills you can teach your children. And I have a little mantra I say to my kids always when they say I can't do it, and it's, we always find a way. And so our last name's Rassam, and I say Rassams always find a way. And
I
I'm
love
working on
that.
more of those. So please feel free to give me ideas to and come up with that. So tell me a little bit about your beverages and your signature drinks. How did you come up with them? And you said something about your mom having a tea room. So you've been in this industry before, perhaps experiencing it from your mom too.
She was such an amazing creative woman. Like she could do just anything. She could make anything, bake anything. She was just always thinking. And I always thought maybe I didn't get that from her, but then now that we're opening this coffee trailer and we're creating these drinks, I guess some of that did rub off on me. But when she had the tea room, I was going through college, so I really just helped as a waitress and things. But she always had ideas, just was always talking about ideas, and that definitely was something that I kept as I grew up. We're always ideas, just passing them back and forth. And so our drinks have come just researching other coffee places that aren't local because we definitely don't want to like step on anyone's toes or anything, but there are
Right.
definitely trends with recipes that happen. And then we also wanted our signature drinks, like our brewed blessing. It's chocolate and caramel. So it's a mocha, but with caramel. So kind of like a turtle. And we wanted our names to kind of have something that carried on the Brew Hope. So we have that was one of our signature drinks. We also do a s'more to give, which is a s'more flavored
I love that.
coffee. Yes, and those are so much fun to come up with the names. We've done, so our dirty sodas, we have Rooted Joy. So all of the names kind of come together to build up what our purpose is. And then we always think into things. One of the things we did from the beginning was little toppers. So our s'more to give would have a s'mores little topper, so a little treat on top of the drink.
Right.
And people love seeing that. And the buckets, we did buckets of coffee and drinks too. And that's been a trend that have gone crazy. And when we first started it, everybody wanted a bucket of coffee because who doesn't want a bucket of coffee? So that was fun. And then we just try different things as the seasons come. Halloween, we did some monster drinks, and we're going to be doing more menus coming out for each holiday season. And so some of this stuff just kind of happens when you're sitting there in the trailer. I'm just making different drinks, trying out different things. I'm like, wow, that works. And we put it on the menu. And so our menu is kind of always fluid, which I know some people are like, hey, do you have the cookie butter latte? I'm like, well, that was just a special we did at that moment. We'll try to make it with what we have here, but we keep a lot of flavors on hand too. So people can get creative. And I really think that they love that. Our customers love that. And sometimes they'll even be like, surprise me. And when you give me that kind of a freedom to create, like I'm like, are you sure? I mean, we could get a little crazy here. And through that, drinks have been created and we've added those to the menu. So that's been fun.
Right. So one thing I do have a question for you about getting your creativity. Do you have a page business plan if you were to open up a storefront ready in case someone wants to invest and open up a storefront with you? Do you have something like that ready? And is that something that you might want to do? So then we can say, look, I have this plan. I need an investor.
Yeah. I mean,
so you know who to look for.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I definitely want to keep, going along that track. I need all the resources I can get in order to get there. We had some things come up, ideas and opportunities, and it just didn't feel right at the moment because we just opened July 4th and we're still working out kinks and things of the business. But yes, I mean, I would love that. I would love to have that ready or to connect. My thing is I feel like I need more resources as a business owner. I would love to have classes on how to monetize Facebook, or classes on how to use TikTok, and classes on what to actually have ready to go. I have a business plan, but what I need to be prepared for to continue, or even I really do need to kind of sit down and look at all of these goals, especially what we've been talking about, and figure out the time frame and when I want them to happen. And I have a connection with somebody who does something similar with kids aging out of care, and he has offered his resources. I just haven't been able to connect with him. So, I mean, really, we definitely need to get a checklist going so we can keep moving forward.
Yes, we need to get you a whole team going. So,
yes, that'd be
the
wonderful.
One thing is you give back. So it's a great way to connect and reach out to people because you never feel bad when you're trying to do something for a good cause, right? And that's the goal. That's the goal every entrepreneur should have, is they have a good reason why they're doing what they're doing. So I'm podcasting because I love business and I love helping people learn about business and think of new ideas. So that's what I'm doing. And I don't know where that's going to take me, but it's going to be a fun journey along the way, and we'll see what happens. And I have a feeling in my heart that it's going to be great. And I probably need to write a little more business plans myself. My husband keeps me busy with all of his businesses. So yeah, just part of it is getting that thing in your mind and writing it down, and then you know who you need to look for, or that person's going to come across your path and you have to trust that you're going to run into the person and say, hey, look, I have this business plan. It's one page right here. It's in my purse. I would love to show it to you. This is the numbers I think I'm going to need to make this happen. Will you be able to invest in it, or do you know someone that can? Because you never know who you're going to run into and where it's going to happen.
I love that.
I share that all the time. You never know who you're talking to and who you're going to run into, because we don't walk around with signs on our back saying, hey, I can invest, like Mr. Wonderful or the Shark Tank people.
No,
So
that's
you
great. And
never know.
I really love what you do because giving, people, but when you invited me on the podcast, I listened to a few of your previous podcasts, and just as a business owner, those things are helpful. Sometimes we don't even think about what you said, and being able to have that resource is huge. And to hear other people going through the struggles and going through the growing pains is just, it's wonderful. I don't think there's enough out there for people
I,
because
f-
there are days
yeah.
when I'm just like, oh my God, this is too much.
Yes. Oh, yes. You feel like that all the time. And it's like, life is over one day. And then the next, you're like, yes, I scored a big win. And let's just say it's a huge emotional roller coaster. And even being like the family and you're the mom of the household, you have to hold it together and don't let anybody at home know what's going on too
Right.
much because don't stress them out. So it's a tough job, but it's totally worth it because of the freedom that you have. And that's one of the things that I got into entrepreneurship and business because I love my freedom of time and the ability to spend time with my family. And so that's my number one motivator. And I tell everyone when I'm doing anything, I'm like, I have an ulterior motive here, and it's I want to be able to drop everything as a parent when my kids later in life have a baby or whatever and just go and say, you need me, I'm there, this is great.
Right.
And
Definitely.
I am able to do that. So I want to be able to do that. I want to say, like, I'm always everyone's biggest cheerleader, and I joke like, don't hang out with me too much because I'll convince you.
I love it.
Even my phone is overheating and it's 52 degrees outside. Crazy. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
I'm turning the air conditioning to point right on it so it stays cool. But I have to get the light in from the front so you can see my face. Okay, there's another entrepreneurship tip. We're adaptable. So since we're on this topic, then what are some things you have done, and how is it teaching your kids how to be more adaptable to their situation and just go with grace and make changes along the way?
Oh yeah, I definitely see like we just little mishaps that have come up. For instance, I was locked out of the trailer. We had a wedding coming up like the next day, and somehow the lock got shaken to the point where it wouldn't turn all the way. And I mean like the wedding was the next day. It was actually Halloween. So my kids were ready to go trick or treating, and I couldn't go because I had to figure this lock thing out. So they were very first they learned patience. I mean, they have been so patient, and then we see the problem solved, and we're able to go. Halloween night is a big night for kids, and they were so forgiving that we couldn't go right away, that we had to get this problem solved. And we had a locksmith come out, they fixed it. We were able to go trick or treating, but they just see that, so they see me making mistakes, and if I have a freak out about the mistake, then I'm like, okay, I apologize, and this is this, whatever. And I think that transparency and vulnerability just helps them see that we're all human and that we all make mistakes and that we can still keep going. Because when I first started the coffee trailer, moving it back and forth from location to location was exhausting. I'd come home and I would be just good for nothing because we had, my body hadn't been used to doing all of that extra work. And now that we're going with it, it's second nature now. Like the kids even know how to break down the trailer and set the trailer back up when we go to events. And
Right?
I've been giving them a little bit more responsibility with those types of things that are safe for them.
Right.
So my 13-year-old and I went to an event recently, and it just happened to be a slower event, and he's been begging me to run the trailer, to use the point of sale system, to take the orders, to make the orders and all that. And he's been begging. So I'm like, you know what? This is yours. You do this. It's all you. And he was super excited, but he was like, and he's learning to project his voice, and he's learning to be more confident, and he's learning to take those orders, and watching him just kind of do that. And I stepped out of the trailer for a little bit, right around the trailer. I was so close, but to just see him kind of struggle and fail, but then succeed, I can see him gaining confidence from that experience. And
Right.
my daughter, she makes the absolute best cookies. So we're working on having some kind of farm stand for her, or getting her to the food safety handler so she can come to the commissary kitchen with me and bake. And
Right.
watching them blossom in different areas of that has been amazing. They see the struggle, and they see some days it's overwhelming. One day we went out and the trailer wasn't plugged in. We had to get rid of everything and get new stuff in. I was overwhelmed. They can see that, but then they also see the push through. Keep pushing through,
Right.
keep pushing through. We got this. It's okay. And I think that is huge to know that one, you're going to make mistakes. Forgive yourself. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And we were just featured on the cover of 352 Preview magazine. That was a shock. And the kids came out with me to
Yeah.
do the photo shoot. And I didn't realize at first that we were going to be the cover. And then like, oh, we're coming out to do the pictures for the cover. I'm like, whoa, we're going to be on the cover. And like, so they see that, they see that success. And it's not like, I don't want it to be like, it's me, it's our business as a family, like
Yes,
we're on the
yes.
cover. They can't be on the cover because they're kids and,
Right,
there's some safety with that, but they love being part of that and seeing us keep moving up. It's motivating for them, so
right.
that's been awesome.
That's what I love about the idea of I'm planning to start a business when my kids get a little bit older, something they can help with because of all of those soft and communication skills that everybody really needs to be good at. No matter what you do, you still have to talk once in a while, even if you don't like to.
Oh yeah.
And it teaches resilience and the ability to overcome obstacles. And I think those are probably your two most important skills you have in life. The other stuff is all figure outable, and you learn that through having those two skills that you can figure out anything. And just because you're here in one place today doesn't mean you're going to be the same person in 6 weeks or 2 days. You never know. Your life can change in an instant like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And we all go through struggles. So it's really an important skill for kids to learn that we all struggle in life. We all have situations that aren't ideal happen to us. And it's all about how you respond to them and how you adapt and how you change. And it teaches a sense of community as well, which I think is important because not just the foster children, but all of us, we use all this technology all the time today, and we forget about why community and talking face to face is important. And that's one of my big things I always talk about as much as I can is technology is awesome, but we sometimes have to spend time together and make personal connections with people because it's not the same. And so do you have experience with that at home yourself? Like my kids get mad at me. I don't let them watch TV all that often.
We definitely have some limits on different, especially certain shows, and I think they get frustrated with me on that. But I have noticed them too. Like Walter, my oldest son, I had him give out samples one day, and it was completely out of his comfort zone.
Right.
And when we were talking about the skills that they're learning, that came to mind because he pushed through and he did it. And then my oldest daughter, she's very much the opposite. She can talk to just anybody in the world. And it's funny because for me, I sometimes struggle with getting out like being an extrovert and kind of making connections. And this business has
Right.
forced me to do that. And my
Yes.
kids have even shown me like, okay, she can do it. My daughter, she makes connections at every little festival we go to. And we just went back to a festival. It was in October, it's November, it's going to be in December. And some of the vendors were there from when she came with me. And, oh, where's your daughter? I got this for her. And we're so,
That's so cute.
yeah. And at the pumpkin patch, she was talking to everybody about her recipes and her cookies because she had started a little farm stand for that event. And she made such a connection with a lady at that organization that the next day we went and I had my son, and a friend came up with 3 recipes she had written out for her from her
That's so
family.
sweet.
So not only I'm hoping that I'm teaching my kids something by doing this, but they are teaching me too so much about getting out there and not being afraid to connect with people and to use those resources too. Everybody's looking for that. Sometimes I struggle with maybe being an inconvenience or like a bother, but everybody's in the same boat. And when you're a small business owner,
Yes.
come together. I've met so many other food truck owners and we've collaborated and come up with ideas and talked about, hey, this event's coming up, or, how would you handle this? And to be able to use that experience to help all of us it's been something I didn't foresee. I didn't see
Right.
that happening. But there's like reaching out to, the different business organizations that get together and making connections there. It just has spurred up ideas that are just blossoming from those connections. So I 100% agree that it is very important. And my kids teach me that every day, just watching them. It's amazing.
Right. And I feel like it's kind of a spiritual journey along the way because you're having to change yourself every time to be a better leader or to make what you're doing better. It forces you to make changes in your life, which is a good thing,
Oh yeah.
even if they're tough.
Would definitely. When I had this vision of the coffee trailer, I thought, okay, I'm going to go to a coffee trailer. I'm going to serve coffee. It's just going to be simple. And it's
Yeah.
totally not that. And I have been pushed out of my comfort zone so much. And it's amazing to see that growth. And there's still so much I have to learn and so much to do. I don't know why I didn't think when I started it how it was going to be what it is. It's just the connections, the give back, and then out of your comfort zone. And then the kids coming together and just it amazes me every day what happens with this that I just didn't realize would come from it.
Yes. That's what I love so much about business, because it's such a big thing. For you have your community and you want to welcome more people into it, and those connections, and it benefits both of you. I used to be a Rotarian, so I stole their little phrase, and it's service above self, and you're serving other people, but it also gives back so much to you when you do that. Even if it's not for nonprofits, people appreciate when you do things for them, and that's why they're there for the service.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so it's really awesome way to connect with the community and do good things for other people. And you never know who's going to walk up and what their situation is, and it's a great skill. Like, it's a great skill to have the customer service skills. So I applaud you. I
Oh,
love
thank you.
this. I was so excited, and I knew a few people that foster kids, and I was like, please, somebody connect me with Carrie. I need to talk to her for her
Aw,
business.
that's awesome.
Because I think it's really awesome, and I wish you all the best continuing to grow. And is there anything that you can think of that you would like to say to some of my listeners who are foster parents as an encouragement, or let us know a few things that we can do for the foster parents that we know in our lives to help them out? Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you don't know how to ask for help when you're in the situation. So is there something that you would suggest for us to do
Yeah,
as
definitely.
non-foster parents?
So first for like foster parents and adoptive parents, like that is such a struggle. There's so many, it feels like so many obstacles always. And just keep going, keep going. Don't let any of the negativity affect your mission. You know, you start as if you become a foster parent, you have a goal, you have a mission, and it's to help kids. And a lot of times other things come into play and just can seem to mess it up. Just love those babies. Do the best you can. And if you have to, like, stop fostering one, or even stop fostering, or give yourself a break, or maybe you're fostering one but you're not ready to adopt, like, forgive yourself. Like, you have a heart and you do what your heart is allowing you to do. And if it's to foster, wonderful. And if it's to adopt, wonderful. And just to keep pushing forward. Just keep pushing forward. Everybody makes mistakes, but just forgive yourself and keep going, because that's how I got where I am. Sometimes it felt too much. I just had to keep going, and just look for the good things. That's always another thing, no matter what, is to keep in your mind what you're grateful for and all the little blessings. Those definitely keep me going, especially as my kids are growing up and becoming teens. And then for like the community, for me, our extended family is kind of complicated. So we don't really have a lot of people that would help watch our kids. And
Right.
in that community, you also have to go through different things. If you're going to be watching kids for foster families, kids,
Right.
you have to go through like background checks and stuff if it's a certain amount of time. But if you have a really close friend who has kids who are in the foster care system, offering for help with a meal, or even offering to just babysit so that they could have a date night or whatever, is huge. Because, like, for me, I have five. So if I ask
Right.
anyone for help, I feel like it's too much, like it's a
Yes.
lot. So just someone saying, hey, I'll take so and so for a little bit, or I'll watch them for you so you can get, even if it's just an hour, that's huge. And I have
Right.
friends that will do that. I'm so
That's
grateful for
awesome.
that.
Yes.
And then just as like a person, like, no matter what it is you're doing, like for me starting this business, there are days where it feels sometimes like it's just too much. But, I look at our followers, I look at our customers, I look at my kids, and like, we got to just keep pushing forward, pushing forward. And I think that if you have friends that are in the foster care world, or even starting a business or whatever, just like you said, being that cheerleader, hey, just keep going, whatever, because that helps too. Somebody else in your corner saying, hey, you got this. No matter what it
Right.
is you're doing as a foster parent, as an as a parent, just building each other up. We don't do enough of that. I think sometimes we feel weird about saying nice things or weird about, well, even taking compliments, but just to build
Yes.
each other up. Because, like, I would, if you asked me, hey, what do you need? I might not say, like, a meal. Because, like I said, that as a
Right.
mom, you don't want to be a burden to other people, but somebody just saying, hey, here's this, or hey, here's a coffee, or hey, let's go do something just the ladies, or whatever. Like, those
Right.
things help to coming and being able to share your, and another thing I think would be huge for no matter what area of life you're struggling with is, reaching out, building up, but also being like, I'm struggling with that too. Like, you're not alone. This is hard. What can we do
Yeah.
together? Because being able to say, "Okay, I'm not the only one struggling with this. We're all kind of trying to figure what works for you. Oh, this works. Oh, I'm going to try that." Like, just being vulnerable too. And I know that takes trust. So you got to make sure you have a good circle. But I know like
Right.
that would be amazing, is to, in every facet of life, just to be able to say, "Hey, I'm struggling here. Me too. Oh, great. Let's figure this out together."
Right. I know I've been telling everybody about this because I'm so excited. If you have an iPhone, you can schedule text messages now. So
Oh,
I schedule text messages for people when I'm thinking of them at 2 in the morning, because you can't send text messages out
right.
at that time because I'm wide awake for some reason. So I am a huge fan of that now. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about you right now. It's 2 a.m., but it's not going out till 8. Hi, I hope you're great. This is what I thought of. And that's one thing. Don't feel bad about reaching out and giving people compliments or saying, hey, I really admire you're great at this. Carrie, I admire that you just said, hey, I use ChatGPT, which I use ChatGPT like my personal assistant all the time. I made it come up with a whole checklist of activities I'm supposed to be doing as a mom for before Christmas because I didn't want to sit there and think of that. Like, thank you. Print Christmas trees and color those. Great. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So I use it all the time and I tell everybody I pretend it is my personal assistant, but she's not trained that well, so I do have to look over her work
Yes, exactly. And
or whatever.
I know there's pros and cons to the
Right.
AI. I mean, like, I even asked ChatGPT to help me with healthier meals for my family, and just the simplicity of the answer and the example
Right.
menu for our family it was so nice to be able to do that. So I mean, that even like sharing that resource with people would be an amazing thing.
Yes, yes. So I do that all the time too. Like I say, plan my menu. We're having this kind of diet. These are the ages of the people. One doesn't have teeth yet. Those kind of things. And it works really well. I love it so much. And it's a great resource as not just a business owner, but a parent. Us moms, we kind of do all the things and schedule and plan all the things. So I'm the first one to tell everyone, try it out, use it, see if it works for you. Like, there's your extra personal assistant. It takes some of your mom decision fatigue off.
Oh yeah, that's huge. The decision fatigue.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
I would like to thank you so much for talking with me, and I look forward to running into you around town
Yeah, definitely.
again
Thank you for having us.
soon, and hopefully we can get your other businesses or locations started up for you
That would be amazing.
by sharing. So,
That would be wonderful.
everybody, if you're listening, I'm going to use this as a little pitch too, like a little reel. If you're listening, please, Carrie needs some help. She was looking for some investors for additional food trucks or to make it a franchise. So she wants to try out with a location first so she can franchise it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Contact her, and her company is Brew Hope. We're giving you a little pitch here. And she's all about giving back. If you want to invest and feel good about your investment, call Carrie. Her information is on Google, so you can connect with her there. And again,
Awesome.
I would
Thank you.
like to thank you for joining me. My name is Emily. This is the Emily Rassam Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so I can help more business owners, parents, and those who are interested in self-improvement. Thanks for joining me today on the Emily Rassam Show. If you laughed, learned something, or at least didn't roll your eyes too hard, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep the coffee strong, your kids alive, and the dreams big.